You're wanting to form an LLC in 2025, and you narrowed things down to ZenBusiness and Northwest Registered Agent. Well, in today's video, I'm going to break down what these two companies actually offer, how both their pricing and features compare to one another, and which one is going to give you the most value based on your goals. Now, both of these platforms help you legally form a business, but they're going to approach it in very different ways. So let's dive in and start off with what ZenBusiness and Northwest Registered Agent actually do. Well, both these companies are going to help you file your LLC formation paperwork with the state and stay compliant year to year. That's kind of the basics. ZenBusiness is going to be built around tiered plans with bundled features. If you want tools like EIN filing, compliance alerts, a registered agent, or even a business website or bookkeeping tools, these are all either going to be included in one of their paid tiers, which we'll talk about in a little bit, or available as add-ons. It's essentially meant to be a one-stop dashboard for business formation and maintenance. Northwest Registered Agent, by contrast, keeps things pretty simple. Their core focus is on filing your LLC and providing in-house registered agent services. They don't bundle in extras like website builders or tax tools, but they do include a business address and privacy protections by default, and they handle support entirely in-house with a US-based staff. So the decision here isn't necessarily about which one is better, it's about what you actually need. So let's talk about the key features that both offer. With ZenBusiness, you're going to be able to file your LLC in any of the 50 states. You're going to be able to utilize their registered agent service for $199 per year, but the first year is discounted to $99. You're going to get an EIN and operating agreement, which are essential for your LLC. These are going to be included in both their pro and premium plans, which we'll talk about shortly. Also, in those higher tier plans, you'll get annual compliance tools to make sure that you're constantly in good standing with your state. You'll have access to BOI filing, which is no longer a strict requirement in 2025, but compliance support is still available there. And similarly to Northwest Registered Agent, you'll have US-based support. And with ZenBusiness, they've got a 4.8 Trustpilot rating from over 20,000 reviews. Now, with Northwest Registered Agent, for the most part, it's going to be pretty similar, right? You can file your LLC in all 50 states. You can also get that registered agent. It's going to be included for free for the first year with Northwest, and then $125 per year. You'll get an operating agreement available at no extra cost. An EIN is available as an add-on for $50 if you do want that. Other than that, there's going to be no upsells or bundles with Northwest. It's just flat pricing across the board. They're very focused on privacy, so in their basic service, it's going to include a business address and limit your personal information exposure. And support is going to be fully in-house via their corporate guides. Now, they're quite a bit smaller and the reviews are not as great. Their Trustpilot score is currently about a 2.7 on just over 100 reviews. So something to be mindful of. Now, there's a few things that have changed in 2025 for both companies, so let's dive into that now. With ZenBusiness, you can now get one-day rush filing available in over 15 different states. So if it's very important to you that you get that LLC set up quickly, you can do that in many states. They've also got a bank account integration with Novo, which is a bank that I have used extensively in the past, have plenty of videos on, so you can get a business bank account very easily. You've also got business credit tracking tools built into the dashboard, so you can start building your business credit from day one. They've got an additional service called Money Pro, which provides you with bookkeeping add-ons. And again, that BOI filing is available, but for most companies, that's not going to be super relevant these days. Now, with Northwest Registered Agent, they recently rolled out a refreshed user dashboard, which is going to make things a bit more intuitive and easy to navigate. They've got some new monitoring alerts for your business name status. So when you're just getting started trying to find the right name, that's now built in. They've got a more robust digital document inbox now, which is nice as well. And the EIN filing is now integrated directly into the formation flow. So really with Northwest, not much has changed in 2025, just a couple of small tweaks that have helped to improve the process. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about the different plans and pricing available from both of these companies. With ZenBusiness, you've got 3 different plans you can choose from. The first of which is their starter plan, which is going to run you $0 plus your state filing fees. So wherever you file your LLC, there's going to be some fees to the state. You have to pay those regardless. Now, this is only going to get you basic formation, no registered agent, no EIN, no compliance tools. On their Pro plan, which is $199 per year, that's going to add in your EIN, operating agreement, and annual report reminders. Then, if you want to take things a step further, really get that all-in-one service, that's where their premium plan is going to come into play, which is $299 per year. That's going to add in a domain for your company, a website, and a business email. On top of that, if you do want a registered agent, it's going to run you $99 for the first year, then $199 per year from there. So ZenBusiness generally going to make the most sense if you want everything centralized in one dashboard and you're cool with an annual plan. With Northwest, on the other hand, you're going to get LLC formation plus a registered agent for $39 upfront plus your state fees. And that's going to include your filing. It's going to include the first year of registered agent. It's going to include your business address, mail forwarding, and operating agreement. Then from there, the registered agent is going to renew at $125 per year. And you can get that optional EIN filing for $50 one time. You can also choose to have Northwest file your annual report, which is going to run you around $100 per year, plus whatever state fees are applicable. Now, Northwest, as you can see, isn't really built around tiers or subscriptions. You're kind of just going in and paying for exactly what you need, and they don't bundle in those extras unless you explicitly ask for them or opt in for them. So starting to get a little bit clearer how these two stack up, but let's dive into the pros and cons to make it extremely clear. For ZenBusiness, on the pro side of things, they're going to include a bunch of useful extras like your EIN, compliance tracking, and an optional business website in those packages instead of you having to piece them together separately. With Northwest, you're not going to be able to do all of that. The interface with ZenBusiness is also extremely beginner friendly, so if this whole process feels intimidating to you, ZenBusiness is going to make it feel a little bit easier. They're also bundling in tools like credit tracking and bookkeeping, again, if you want them, if you want that one-stop shop for your business. And they've got a really strong reputation and high user ratings across the board. Now, on the con side of things, a lot of the additional features with ZenBusiness do require you to upgrade. Again, that's because their first tier is completely free, and their registered agent is also not included in that base plan. It's also, like any subscription, going to auto-renew unless you cancel it. So you'll want to make sure that you're on top of things. And if your business is, going to close down, you'll obviously want to cancel your ZenBusiness subscription. With Northwest, on the other hand, the pros include that the registered agent is, bundled in up front. So that's not an add-on that you have to choose to pay for. They've also got very simple flat rate pricing. So you know what you're paying for one time and you don't have to think about, oh, do I want this to renew? They've got really strong privacy protections. This is one of the things that they really focus on. And that's kind of the whole point of the registered agent, is so that your personal information isn't easy to access from your LLC. They're not going to hit you with a bunch of upsells, which is nice. And they talk a lot about their, customer support being above average. Their reviews are a little bit mixed, so really is going to come down to your personal experience there. And so shifting gears into the con side of things, there's a lot fewer business building tools built into Northwest. So again, no domain, no email, no credit tools. Your EIN and your compliance filing are going to cost extra with Northwest. And they just don't have the same reputation. There's less reviews and they're not as great. So that's definitely something you want to be thinking about. Now, tying things together, which one's going to be better for you? Well, really it just depends on what kind of setup you're looking for. If you want a centralized dashboard with built-in tools for EIN filing, compliance reminders, as well as the ability to, bundle in those optional extras like bookkeeping, website hosting, then that's exactly what ZenBusiness is structured for. It's meant to be out of the box, all in one. But obviously, you're going to be paying more for that if you want all of those features. So better value, but overall higher cost. If, on the other hand, you just want to form your LLC, you want to get a registered agent, you don't want to think about any, upsells or additional business tools and stuff, and you want to just figure all that out separately, then Northwest Registered Agent is probably going to be more straightforward for you. You're going to miss out on some of the automations, some of the integrations, but you're going to get simplicity in return. Now, you're going to find the best available links for both ZenBusiness and Northwest Registered Agent in the description below. That also do help to support the channel, so thanks if you decide to use those. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.